Hey there, dear viewers. Today we bring you a story that might just make you see the world and even the universe in a whole new light. It's a tale about none other than Elon Musk, the man many consider the modern-day Thomas Edison, the brain behind SpaceX, Tesla, and so much more. But this story isn't about rocket science or self-driving cars. Nope. This is about something even more profound. Imagine this. Elon Musk, the genius billionaire and unshakable rationalist, walking into a small church in Las Vegas and having a moment that would completely transform his life. Yes, you heard that right. It's a story about faith, technology, and how even the most logical minds can encounter the miraculous. Are you ready to dive in? But before we get started, drop your location in the comments. We'd love to know where you're watching from. And if you love extraordinary stories like this one, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you'll never miss an episode. Now grab a coffee, get comfy, and prepare for an epic tale that might just change the way you think about Elon Musk, spirituality, and even yourself. When we think of Elon Musk, the image that comes to mind is larger than life. He's the guy who wants to make humanity a multi-planetary species, the visionary who's building self-sustaining cities on Mars, and the relentless entrepreneur who's making electric cars cool. But behind the headlines, the memes, and the Twitter escapades, there's a man, a human being with struggles, doubts, and questions like the rest of us. Born in Pretoria, South Africa, Elon was a child who didn't quite fit the mold. While other kids played sports or chased after fleeting hobbies, young Elon buried himself in books, teaching himself programming and dreaming about the future. He grew up in a home where religion was present but never dominant. Anglicanism and Judaism brushed the surface of his upbringing. But Elon's scientific mind yearned for evidence, for answers that could withstand scrutiny. That drive to understand, to uncover the mechanics of the universe, propelled him to the top. By his early 30s, he was already a millionaire. By his 40s, he was a billionaire, a household name, and one of the most influential people on the planet. But there's something people don't always see. The cost of that level of ambition, the sleepless nights, the pressure, the moments of crushing failure and self-doubt. For years, Elon buried those feelings, focused solely on the mission. But as life often has it, moments of clarity come when you least expect them. And for Elon, that moment arrived in a way no one could have predicted. Las Vegas is a city of contradictions. By day, it's a desert oasis, glittering in the sun, a playground for tourists and dreamers. By night, it's a neon-lit wonderland, a place where fortunes are made and lost in the blink of an eye. For Elon Musk, Vegas wasn't about gambling or entertainment. He was in town for one of the world's most prestigious tech conferences. It was an event where innovators and thinkers gathered to unveil the latest breakthroughs, from AI advancements to robotics and space exploration. On the surface, it seemed like just another conference in a long line of public appearances for Elon. But something about this trip felt different. That Sunday morning, while others were nursing hangovers or catching up on work emails, Elon found himself restless. He had a strange feeling, a sense that he couldn't quite shake. It wasn't anxiety exactly, but a weight, a nagging question at the back of his mind. Is this all there is? He decided to take a walk. As Elon wandered through the quiet streets, the bright lights of the Vegas Strip seemed distant, almost muted. It was a rare moment of stillness in a city that never sleeps. He wasn't looking for anything in particular. In fact, he wasn't sure why he'd ventured out at all. But then, as he turned a corner, he saw it. A small church nestled between two unassuming buildings. There was nothing extraordinary about its appearance, no towering spires or grand facade, just a simple sign out front that read, "All are welcome here." For reasons he couldn't explain, Elon stopped. He stood there for a moment, hands in his pockets, staring at the building. It wasn't the kind of place he'd usually go. Church had never been a big part of his life, and he wasn't one to seek solace in religion. But something drew him in. Maybe it was the faint sound of music drifting through the open doors. Maybe it was curiosity. Or maybe, just maybe, it was something more. The inside of the church was just as modest as its exterior. Wooden pews, simple stained glass windows, and a small altar at the front. The air smelled faintly of candles and aged wood. Elon slipped into a seat at the back, hoping to go unnoticed. He wasn't sure what he was expecting, but he decided to stay and observe. The congregation was small, mostly families and older couples. The atmosphere was warm and inviting, a stark contrast to the high-energy, fast-paced world Elon was used to. As the service began, the choir sang a hymn. The melody was gentle, almost haunting in its beauty. For the first time in a long time, Elon felt his mind quiet. As then came the sermon. The pastor was a young man, no older than 35, with a calm yet commanding presence. His voice was steady, his words deliberate. He didn't preach fire and brimstone. He spoke with sincerity, sharing a story from his own life. He talked about a time when he felt lost, when everything seemed to be falling apart. He spoke of hitting rock bottom, of questioning his purpose, of wondering if he had anything left to give. But in that darkness, the pastor said, I found light, not because I was looking for it, but because it was always there. Sometimes you don't need to understand it, you just need to let it in. Elon listened, his attention unwavering. The words resonated with him in a way he didn't expect. He thought about his own life, the pressure, the failures, the relentless drive to achieve more. As the service continued, something shifted. The congregation bowed their heads in prayer, and Elon almost instinctively did the same. He wasn't sure why. He wasn't a believer. But in that moment of silence, he felt peace. It was unlike anything he'd ever experienced. It wasn't the satisfaction of solving a complex problem or achieving a career milestone. It was deeper, quieter, more profound. Then the choir began to sing Amazing Grace. The lyrics hit him like a wave. I once was lost, but now am found. Elon closed his eyes, and for the first time in years, he let himself feel. The weight he'd been carrying, the doubts, the fears, it all seemed to lift. Tears welled up in his eyes, and he didn't fight them. It was a moment of surrender, of letting go of the need to have all the answers. When the service ended, Elon didn't leave right away. He stayed in his seat, staring at the altar, lost in thought. He didn't know what had just happened. He couldn't explain it. But he knew one thing for certain. Something inside him had changed. The next day at the tech conference, Elon took the stage. Everyone expected him to talk about AI, SpaceX, or Tesla's latest innovations. Instead, he began with a story. Yesterday, he said, I walked into a small church here in Vegas. I wasn't looking for anything, but what I found was peace. It reminded me that no matter how far we go with technology, there's something deeper that connects us all. The Elon's experience didn't just change him personally, it transformed his vision for the future. At SpaceX, his mission to colonize Mars gained a new dimension. It wasn't just about survival or exploration. It became about hope, about carrying the best of humanity into the stars. At Tesla, his commitment to sustainability deepened. It was no longer just a business goal. It was a moral imperative, a way to honor the planet as a gift that needed to be protected. And in his personal life, Elon found balance. He began to prioritize relationships, community, and moments of quiet reflection. Elon's story sparked a global conversation. Some people were inspired, seeing his transformation as proof that faith and science could coexist. Others were skeptical, dismissing it as a publicity stunt, but for Elon it wasn't about what others thought. It was about the journey, about finding meaning, purpose, and connection in a world that often feels disconnected. So, what do you think, folks? Could a moment in a small church really have changed Elon Musk's life? Or is there more to the story? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story with your friends. See you next time.